We're going to go through some of our hot takes, some of Kevin's, some of mine, banter a little bit back and forth, and talk about, hey, why we support our little hot takes and get to know a little more about us. Things been going good for you and the family for the summer so far?
Just busy, man. And it's
flying by.
Yeah,
halfway done already.
Yeah. I mean, what? Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I think actually MPS starts up, what, a month and a week from now?
Yeah, like the 17th
nuts,
or
isn't it?
something.
Yeah.
It's
flying right by.
Yeah, I feel like we're already preparing for, next chapter, right? Starting the final, at least, grade school chapter for Nico. So.
And then Sam's high school now?
Yep, 9th grade. Yep.
Big change too.
Yeah. Yeah. Nico's going to be going to college next year. He'll be going to Delta for, I think, 3 courses. So he's only taking 1 class at Dow.
Really?
Which I'm not a fan of. I didn't know this until about a week or 2 ago.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know that we can change it at this point.
I've heard a couple people have that modified schedule and then taking classes at Delta concurrently too.
Yeah.
Are they like math classes or business classes?
Business, mostly business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So hopefully
they have a huge class offering.
Yeah, he'll get some, maybe anywhere from 9 to 18 credits. I don't really know, and he doesn't know.
As
exactly
first semester
how it works.
or for the full calendar year?
Possibly, no, for the whole calendar year.
Gotcha.
Either 9 or 18.
I was like, geez, he's putting in the work. He's putting that per semester.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Although you may have seen, what now for full-time students, as far as loans go, they have to have 15 credits as the minimum, as opposed to
is it unilaterally?
12.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think 12 was the old.
Yeah. So it's one of the changes within the big, beautiful bill.
One of the many changes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Which should definitely be a future Min Money podcast episode.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants us to dive in, do some highlights, pick some other parts of the bill, or I shouldn't say pick apart, but highlight some, let us know. Always happy to.
Yeah.
As much as we want to go talk about
I'll read
golf.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might even do like a live reading of it, page by page.
Yeah, there we go. Be good sleeping material.
The true subscribers would listen through. Yeah. I hope so, at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think shifting here a little bit, as much as we go chit-chat about that or banter back and forth, I know everyone, as much as they love hearing us talk, we actually do have a topic very, very similar to some other topics we've talked about, but want to have a little bit of a switch up because I feel like you see a lot of people, this is the preferred thing that people should do. This is the preferred thing that people should go do. But then people may not know realistically how we personally think about certain topics. And so I think when we were brainstorming a little bit behind the scenes now for Min Money, when we brainstorm on a bi-weekly basis, episode ideas and topics, our producers were saying, hey, go have like a hot topic episode.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Or I shouldn't say hot topic, not the store, but a hot take.
Yeah.
Is Hot Topic still around?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know.
It was in the Midland Mall for a while, but I guess might need to do a little bit of recon to go see that.
Speaking of the Midland Mall, have you seen what do they call it? The
Maltopia.
Maltopia, yeah.
Yeah, ET
Is it open now?
I think it was supposed to open, would have been late last month. I haven't been in about a month or month and a half.
I saw it from a distance last night. It's pretty impressive.
Did you scale it?
I was in Target and just saw it down the hall, but who knows? One of these days I'll maybe brave it.
I think it's
if I can. I don't know if it's age restricted or.
I'm not sure age restricted, but I think it is the tallest indoor structure in a mall in all of Michigan.
Wow.
And possibly, I would imagine, to the U.S.
Yeah, I don't. Have you ever been to the Mall of America?
Yes,
in Minnesota.
one time.
There's some big indoor structures there,
but
maybe not specific to like what that Maltopia is.
I was happy to say I also saw it pre. I shouldn't say. I mean, malls are still around and thriving, but there was just a different level of energy to what malls used to be before. More proliferation of online shopping, more just other rollout for how people go do their everyday shopping now. And so, I mean, it got to really see the full breadth back in 06, 07. That place is massive.
Yeah.
I think there's amusement park rides, I want to say.
Oh, absolutely. I was there a year ago. Maybe it wasn't even a year.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, there's a roller coaster. There's all kinds of different rides, and it's gigantic. But yeah, malls were fantastic back. I mean, me growing up, right, being 50 years old, the 80s, right?
Sure.
Arcades, right? Those of you from
yeah.
around here might recall Aladdin's Castle was like the spot. And you'd go in there with all your quarters and play, as many games as you could. So, yeah, good
I'm
times.
sad to never experience that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I remember
Think Stranger Things, right? That's kind of what.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what it
for
was
sure.
like. Yeah.
I think I can remember one arcade in Midland. I think it was actually the Midland Mall. Maybe like 2000, 01 maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have very, very, very vague reference. But anyway, back to hot takes. And so we're going to go through some of our hot takes, some of Kevin's, some of mine, banter a little bit back and forth and talk about, hey, why we support our little hot takes and get to know a little more about us. And then also finance is different, as we've talked about in the past. Personal finance, very personal to the beholden and to themselves. And so I think I'll go ahead and kick things off here. And so my hot take is related to housing. And so what you see a lot of people talk about is the whole rent versus buying a home debate. And of course, anytime that you're paying money towards something, you obviously want some form of ownership, whether you're thinking about whether it's a leasing or buying a car decision. People think the same way with a home. And why not try and go put equity into that? Because of course, that brings back to images of the American dream, the 2.5 kids, the white picket fence, of course. But I'm here to go say renting, completely fine. I think more people should be renting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, renting versus buying. Yeah. It's a great argument, particularly now. Right. I mean, I think if it was a few years ago and interest rates were still, really low.
Sure.
A lot of value in buying. And of course, anytime we're talking about real estate, it's all about location. Right.
Yeah.
So, for instance, the real estate market in mid-Michigan, very different than the real estate market in Florida or in Southern California or something like that.
Absolutely.
Right? But yeah, I think particularly with rates where they are and with prices where they are, right? Have we reached a peak? Who knows? Some markets definitely have, and we're seeing them pull back a little bit. In fact, I was reading about the negative equity that some folks have in different markets.
Oh, of course.
So, yeah. So yeah, let's hear your argument for renting.
So I think for renting, what gives it the more negative connotation is that if you were to go move out of the rental unit, theoretically, let's just go pretend you're putting $1,000 away every single month. It's a 12-month lease, so that's $12,000 that you're physically paying out to someone else, whoever owns a property.
Yep.
And then when you move, dissimilar to a home, when you go through the home selling process, you can roll that equity into a new home. You're left with theoretically nothing. But I'm here to go say, while you're theoretically even with nothing, there's also a lot of costs you're not also paying upon that are more phantom costs that people may not be considering. Because when you think about the mortgage payment, okay, that's the mortgage payment that's going in every single month. But some mortgages cover taxes, some don't. Some cover homeowners insurance, some don't.
Right.
What happens if a storm comes through? What happens if your basement floods? There's a lot of different things that kind of come all into a factor.
Yeah.
And I think what was crazy too is that I think I saw the stat out there that the average 30-year loan, now this would have been probably 2021 or 2020, so I have yet to go see an updated figure, but the average 30-year loan has an active life of just 6.5 years.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
And so people are moving all the time because you can't foresee what's going to go happen.
Yep. People want bigger and better. Families are growing. Careers, not necessarily careers, but workplaces are changing frequently, right? So much more frequently than before. I know it used to be, on average, people change jobs every 7 years. I think that's much shorter today. I don't know if you've read anything about that more recently, but it wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't surprise me if it was 2 or 3, I was going to say. Yeah. So, yeah, one of the things about renting that's fantastic, and I certainly took advantage of this when I was younger, was flexibility, right? You can move. I lived in Denver, right? So Denver's a large area. So a part of that time I lived in Aurora, and then I moved from Aurora to downtown Denver. And then I moved from downtown out to Lakewood. So in a pretty short period of time, in 3 years, I was kind of moving all around the city. And there was different things to take advantage of in different parts of the city. Downtown was really active and a lot of fun. And Lakewood was more of a family community.
Sure.
But yeah, would be one of the reasons to argue for renting, for sure.
Well, and think about renting too. It could give, depending on what you're able to go find out there for a rental, maybe as you think about your budget, as you think about what home you may want 5, 10, 15 years down the road, maybe you're not yet there to go afford it at this time. And so instead of going through the hassle of finding a home, buying a home, closing upon it, getting everything in your name, only living there for 5-10 years. While in theory, you can roll that equity into a new home. Why not rent possibly something smaller, forego some of those costs?
Sure.
And then when you can afford something, hey, you have more flexibility right now, because sometimes with real estate markets, I mean, you really don't know how hot the market might be, if it's a seller's market or more if it's a buyer's market. Guess what? With a rental and a lease,
you're out.
You can wipe your hands. You're all done.
Yep. Yeah. Similar to a vehicle. I know we've talked about that in the past. And so there's probably some similarities between, owning or financing a car, owning or renting a home, right? So you may be losing out on some of that positive equity, but you could also fall into negative equity. Same with a vehicle, right? I think one of the big things about owning a home or mortgaging a home is the American dream.
Sure.
Right. So I think all of us, you mentioned the white picket fence, people might think that they're giving up on the dream by just continuing to rent.
Sure.
And so that might be one of the drawbacks, right? Is just maybe the ego, I suppose. And another benefit of owning a home is you can change it however you like. Oftentimes with renting, you're restricted. Maybe you can't paint the walls, or you can't, change the build out of a room or a bathroom or something of that nature, right? But in your own home, you can make investments, right? You can spend even more money. Yeah.
Well, I think too, if someone, whether they're at an early stage in their life, mid stage of their life too, I think it's gonna be very tough for me to get off the the hill of. I do see your points. I completely see your points of being valid. It gives a lot of people flexibility towards whether they want to go make investments in their home, possible improvements. What I'm purely saying, because I think right now, if you were to go do like an online poll on Facebook, overwhelmingly people are going to want to go, making this up, 95%, 90% in purchase of, hey, it's okay to go buy this home. Maybe get some more people to go steer more towards the rental side. Now, maybe that could also be personally what we're seeing. It's been 10 years since I've looked for a rental in the city of Midland. And so I don't know how supply constrained that may or may not be too, because that could also impact your decision too.
Yeah, absolutely. To your point, I haven't been looking for a rental. I think I've been a homeowner for 25 years, right? So I haven't looked for a rental agreement in quite a long time. But, some other benefits, and something you mentioned when you talk about cost and about savings.
Sure.
I think often, when you think about renting, you think about folks maybe that don't have the money set aside for the down payment. Okay. But let's just assume that you do. Okay, because there's a lot of costs involved with buying a home. Of course. Right? There's the costs associated with getting the mortgage, the closing fees, the appraisal fees.
Realtor fees.
The inspection, and then, the realtor fees. We love our realtors. But you're talking 6-7%, all those other fees, that adds up, right? You could be paying, I don't know, somewhere between 8 and 10% just right up front, okay? And let's say you were purchasing a $400,000 home and you wanted to put 25% down. So you had $100,000 on the sideline, and you had the option of either renting and investing that $100,000,
sure,
or buying and investing that $100,000 into your home, right? So I did the math, or rather, I had ChatGPT do the math for me because it's just easier that way.
Let's go see.
So, and I looked over a 20-year period. So the S&P 500 average return over 20 years is just over 10%.
Okay.
Versus the average increase in a home price is about 3.5%. Again, location. So over 20 years, $100,000 in the S&P 500 would have become $672,000. Okay. That's cash in hand, right?
Massive.
Now, granted, there's taxes involved there, right? You're going to have some gains long-term, short-term, but at the end of the day, significant appreciation. Whereas $100,000 invested at 3.5% over that 20 years would only become $200.
Yeah.
Right. So,
I
never really thought about it that way, but it's definitely, particularly because of where interest rates are right now. I'll mention again, right? I've probably mentioned it 5 or 6 times on the podcast before because I'm so proud of it, but I have that 30-year mortgage at 2.375%.
Never beating that.
So today it's 6.5, 7. I haven't looked today in particular, but huge difference in cost and maintenance and carrying costs.
I would say if you are not sure if you're going to go be in that location for 5, at the bare minimum 5, if not 7 years, think about renting. And I think what a lot of people are surprised with too is there's units all across the spectrum. I mean, there's units, apartment buildings, studio apartments, all up to luxury lease homes if you truly want some. I mean, I've even seen, I remember when I was looking back 8-9 years ago, I was surprised with, hey, there's like some massive 5-bed, 4-bath, full family size homes that are available for people to go rent too.
Yeah.
There's options up and down the spectrum.
To that point, because Jody and I do look around at real estate and whatnot, and we would like maybe to do something different. And it's gotten me thinking a lot about the value of that 2.375% mortgage. And maybe rather than selling the home, you take out a home equity loan against that for your down payment on the next house, and I rent it, right? And I should be able to easily make some good return on that. Now, granted, I don't know how many people are interested in renting. I'd be interested in knowing, though. So if there are some folks out there, maybe I could proceed with this if I knew there was interest in a 3,250 square foot home in the city of Midland within 5 minutes to downtown, 5 minutes to Meyer. Yeah, let me know. Yeah.
It's having all the good attributes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And so I think that works our way. I know we're starting to go talk about loans a little bit more. And so, Kevin, what's your hot take? I know it pertains to loans a little bit.
It does. Buy now, pay later. So Klarna, Afterpay, all these different, call them micro loans that are available today.
Is it Klarna or Klarna? I feel like I've been pronouncing it wrong. Another reach for the audience.
Somebody correct me.
Yes.
Yeah,
please do so.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But anyhow, these are becoming, I'm sure everybody's seen them. They're becoming more and more increasingly popular for a number of different reasons. And I've used them myself. Frankly, one of the reasons they're becoming more popular is many of them are 0% interest, right? So why wouldn't you take free money? Well, it's not always that simple, right? Because while it's free money, you're building up a debt on the sideline, right?
Sure.
And that's where people can get themselves into trouble. I think I've talked about it before. I got myself into trouble in my early 20s where you just think, oh, yeah, I'm just going to charge it today and I'll pay it off next month or whatnot. Well, then, you start building up that debt. Suddenly, it's more and more challenging to come up with that. So I thought it was interesting. So we'll call them buy now, pay later loans. And originations have grown from 2019 to 2021 significantly. By 2022, there's $34 billion in these buy now, pay later loans, right? And based on this year, annual spending is about $97 billion with respect to these loans. Globally, this year, they're looking at about $560 billion in these buy now, pay later loans. And by 2030, they're projecting there will be about $1 trillion outstanding in these buy now, pay later loans. So what's your take? What do you think?
I think it's if the market wants it, there's gonna be companies obviously trying to go prove a market case for it. I've seen examples, whether it's clothing, deliveries. I've seen some for burritos out there. All across the spectrum. And so I feel like if it can help people out in a good financial use case like credit cards can, obviously, of course, hey, I'm all for it. But where I struggle with it too is that, of course, there will be people who might struggle with this and might be able to fall and might unfortunately fall behind because of it. So that's where I go in between. And then I also think about the product too, because to my silly example about a burrito. Yeah. Should there be that? But if the market, I go back about capitalism, if the market wants it, I guess a company will have a product out there to help out.
What's the limit, right? Let's say, for instance, you DoorDash a burrito, you pay for it with Afterpay. And let's say in some instances, I have seen where there is an interest rate tied to these microloans, right? And I was reading an article that was saying that I won't name the retailer or the store, the restaurant, but they were saying a burrito could cost as much as $70. Right, because they often upcharge for the food, then they might charge you for delivery, and they may charge interest, and you may not pay off that loan over a certain time. Yeah, I mean, 70 might be a little extreme, but you certainly might pay $30 for a burrito that might cost you 10 to 15 if you just walked into the store.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I mean, that's where I have some reservations about it, but I mean, hey, if the market wants it, if it could be good for people.
Yeah, I guess. It's all, anytime we're talking about debt, right? It all comes down to responsibility. How responsible are you? Are you responsible enough to take out that debt, whether it's a credit card or one of these buy now, pay later loans, and plan for that, plan to pay that off in the relative near future so you don't get yourself into trouble. If you know you're not good with borrowing or with just managing debt in general, then it's probably a good idea to just stay away.
Just stay away if you're
even
confused.
if it is 0%. Another thing, do you have any idea? I've read that some of these services have very minimal background checks because they're these, micro loans. It's not a huge dollar amount. So if you default on a $75 shirt, it's not as if you're going to bankrupt the lender.
Sure.
Right?
And I feel like too, maybe the cost to go do that background check. Now, I have no idea.
Sure.
No idea what the cost looks like, but maybe that could be a barrier too. Or maybe they're trying to maybe with anything, they're trying to make it more frictionless to encourage more people to use it.
That's what I would probably imagine. Absolutely. Yeah. Make it easier for people to buy things.
But I heard earlier this year, they're going to start incorporating this into your FICO score.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
It's not just free money.
Which, again, can be good or bad, right?
Good point.
I mean, if you know how to manage your debt and if you're responsibly managing it, it could be a good thing, particularly if you're a younger person and you're trying to build credit because it can be challenging. I know I've mentioned it before. When I first graduated from school, I needed to buy furniture for my first apartment, and I didn't have any credit. I didn't have bad credit, but I had very little. So I couldn't get anything. My dad had to co-sign on a credit card for me. This is a simple way to get some credit, start building this and things like rent, right? I've read about Vantage Score. So we're all very familiar with FICO Score, which is used by about 90% of borrower or lenders today, right? And that's a score that we're all very familiar with. It's used pretty universally. But this new Vantage Score is involving microloans, rent,
utilities,
utilities, things of that nature. So it can help younger people or maybe people with bad credit to reestablish some good credit.
I'm excited for that too because you got to think about the younger borrowers too. They might not have established themselves. Maybe they have a lower credit score, even though they could have impeccable credit for the amount of length that they've had it out for as well. And so I think about how much money that could hopefully save people in the long run too. So I'm excited for that part of it.
Yeah. No, I think again, responsibly used, it's a good tool. But let's back up a little bit into that credit scoring conversation.
For sure.
Because FICO is like a mystery, right?
Oh,
It's a proprietary algorithm. We know what things impact it in terms of like, do you have late payments? Are you making your payments on time? But because it's shrouded in mystery, there's some belief that there could be some unfairness involved, right? There could even be some bias, right, to maybe different zip codes or areas or locations and whatnot. So part of the reason that the market really likes this Vantage Score is because it is quite more transparent, right? Whereas FICO is much more shrouded in mystery. So why do you think? What's that lack of transparency, and how do you feel?
I think it's really where people learn personal finance. When you think back, where would you have learned personal finance? Along the lines, people primarily learn it from their parents. And as you can imagine, it could transpire generations if someone never learns about it. I think I had a couple classes, maybe 2 or 3 classes in high school that touched upon lightly those classes. But luckily, I was very interested.
Yeah.
Of course, the career I go into as well, wealth management, but very interested in these topics too. And so if not for that, I feel bad saying this, but who's going to Google FICO credit score in their free time?
Yeah. If you're not personally interested in it, you're probably not looking into it.
And it's unfortunate because how much of your life can really revolve around your credit? Whether it's, these buy now, not as much these buy now, pay later loans, but auto loans, home loans, a HELOC loan, possibly a lot of your life could reflect upon it.
Well, and we've talked about credit before and the importance of good credit, right? If you're borrowing money, because your rates can vary significantly, right? Today you might be able to go into a credit union. I saw a billboard, I think it was yesterday, 4.5% for an auto loan, right? But if you have bad credit and you have to go into one of these subprime auto lots, right? And they might charge 27% interest, right? And you start to draw that out if you're taking out a $20,000 loan over a 3-year period or whatnot.
It costs an arm and a leg.
It adds up to a lot of money. And the tough part then is you're probably dealing with folks with lower income, clearly folks that have challenges managing credit. And now you're making it even tougher for them because they're paying much higher carrying costs.
Imagine on the same car, you're paying 2 to 2.5x.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't make
not a recipe
things
for
any
success.
Easier. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and and it's where people can find themselves. If you get backed into a corner, you lose a job, right?
Yeah.
How long are you able to survive?
Can you maintain that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hopefully the emergency fund's looking good, but it's perilous. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So I thought really interesting topic. I will admit I have used the buy now, whether it's Klarna or Klarna.
One of the
two. I've used I always use it when it's 0% interest or there's no interest charges at all. Is the only time I use it. Mm-hmm. I've probably only used it, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. So I think, hey, use it with caution. I think it can be a great option for folks that are going to be responsible, or if you need to build credit. But yeah, just be careful anytime it comes to borrowing or debt.
If you're confused, ask some questions. If you're still confused, hey, there's other options out there too.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I have yet to use service personally, but
really,
yeah, no.
Okay.
No, I mean, I like the credit card rewards, and so whether it's saving up for some miles for a future vacation, I don't know when that vacation will be, TBD. But
yeah. Were you a Disney Miles guy?
No, Sky Miles.
Sky Miles
with Delta. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, I remember flying the original. I shouldn't say original, but I know Delta's been around a long time, but growing up, I flew a lot on Northwest Airlines.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Big red airplanes.
So I remember.
Love them.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah. I think they were huge at Detroit Airport.
Oh, yeah. Well, because I think they're based out of Minnesota. I want to say company or corporate headquarters, but I think they merged into Delta. Would have been post Great Financial Crisis, maybe 08, 09. That makes sense.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, too, like remember the big... Because I think right before they merged, it was right after a rebranding. Like they had the bright red airplanes with the smaller white logo. Anyway, more. That's more corporate branding. That's more for maybe a different podcast.
Yeah, right.
Say.
Yeah.
So what have you been watching?
So Paradise.
Oh yeah.
Have you begun watching it yet?
It is on my watch list.
Yeah. Terrific show. Give it a chance. It starts out as this this is another political drama, sort of run of the mill, and then suddenly it takes a turn, and you're like, "Wow, this changed quickly."
I could have
and
sworn
it's a really cool show.
I heard it was only supposed to be 1 season, but I think they're starting to think about expanding it out to two seasons. I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because I think it's had some success, and anytime you have a successful product, you just try and ride that train as long as you can. Yeah.
No, it's on my watch list. And so I was going through Netflix the other night and actually saw Happy Gilmore, the original one.
Oh, yeah.
But it leaves at the end of the month and Happy Gilmore 2 comes out.
So it comes out
on Netflix later this month.
In August or July?
Later this month.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Later this month. And so that's all looking great. And so currently rewatching that. It'll probably take me another 3 or 4 sittings.
Yeah.
Between being interrupted or just not interrupted in a bad way, but whether if I have 15 minutes here or 10 minutes here, just trying to go cycle through that.
It's a classic.
Mid-90s classic.
It is an absolute classic. I love that movie. And I can't wait to see Happy Gilmore 2. So maybe they'll make Waterboy 2 next.
Waterboy 2.
Yeah, that was a good one also.
I wouldn't put it past him. Adam Sandler's a very, very, very smart guy.
Really talented guy.
So with that being said, hope everyone can continue to have a great summer. And until next time, thanks again for listening to another great episode of Mint Money.